Hi everyone. I've got a box here that is a shipping box that is about the right size for me to use to store some things here in my art room. And I wanted to do a Scrapplications video to show that you don't have to use just your itty bitty paper scraps or your painted paper scraps. I'm basically going to use some gift wrap pieces today. This is a really pretty roll of gift wrap I got recently, and this yellow is a very old roll of gift wrap that I've had around forever. And you know how sometimes you use gift wrap and then you've got that one piece that's about this wide that's left that keeps going on because you couldn't use it and you keep rolling it up around the wrap? Well, that's what you can pull off and cut up into some usable pieces to do something like this and cover a box. So I wanted to show you, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to throw in a couple of scrapbook paper scraps as well, because I wanted some pinks to kind of help with the pinks that are in this gift wrap. So I'm going to be just collaging, basically, you know, just gluing these things to this box, and I just thought I'd bring you along to show you that there's a lot of other ways to use your scraps, not necessarily just for a journal or for journal ephemera, okay? I also wanted to point out that this was a very not sturdy box because of the way it's made, the bottom, the way that folds in. So I took some glue and some E6000 actually, and I pushed the tube up underneath there and squirted it up underneath all of these little openings, okay? And I did it on the inside and on the outside, and then I set a heavy book in there with some other heavy items on top, and I left it overnight. And now it is super sturdy. So I also took the lid of the box because this had flaps and a lid that came over. And so I took the lid of the box and I cut it down just to make a nice flat surface to sit in the bottom. And I may or may not cover that bottom piece in a piece of this this pretty multicolored gift wrap. So I'm going to decide when I'm done, but I'm not going to do the bottom. I'm just going to collage basically around the outside. All right, so I'm just going to get started gluing it, and I'll put it in fast forward. I just wanted to bring you along and show you what I was up to. Okay, so there we have it. My little collaged box of mostly gift wrap scraps and a couple of scrapbook papers. And at the end, when I was sealing it, I decided to include some tissue paper with the black dots on it. I thought that would really help to make all the colors pop, which I really loved. I love how it turned out. And also I wanted to point out, did you notice at the end where I came back and started adding a bunch of these white blocks? I felt like they stand out the most. And I mean, they're white. They've also got little pink dots on them, but they stand out because they are so white. And I felt like they weren't balanced really well, so wherever it was necessary, I added another one. If there was just two, I added a third one. Where there was just two or maybe three on a long side, I added a couple more. And I just think it really helps the balance. Some of you have mentioned you like to hear my thought processes on why I do some of the things I do, and that's why I did that. And I just think it really helps to balance it out better. And so this was just a little exercise, first of all, to use some scraps, and second of all, to, I'm upcycling a shipping box. Right now I know we can't go out and buy a pretty box. I like to get some pretty boxes at Tuesday morning, and I store things in those sometimes, but this is a pretty box considering. Now, it doesn't have a lid, and it's not, that special, it's just a plain old cardboard box, but you can make something look really cute to sit in your art area and to store your things. What I did was I purchased some of these little they're pencil holders like we used to put in our notebooks for school, and they're called zippered pouches now, I think, but I bought some of these just to put things in, like die cuts, so that I can see what's inside there, and it's a little more sturdy than like the cellophane sleeve that they come in. So I've just got a couple of these set up with some purchased die cuts, and then some of the little flowers and things I was cutting out of the book pages, I started sticking in some of those, and it's just a handy way to keep them all nice and flat. They don't get beat up. And here's some with some little birds in it, and these are my little leafy branches that I had cut out. So I wanted to have a box to, instead of putting these in a binder, I feel like that's just a little bit more cumbersome because you have to open a binder. It takes up all this room. I just wanted to have it in a little box. So these are going to sit in the box. For now, I'm going to just set an empty box kind of behind there just to kind of hold them up so that they stay upright. But that's just a handy little place to be able to thumb through, grab what I want, what I'm looking for, and I can see what's in each one as I'm doing that. I can see exactly what each little zipper pouch holds. So those, I just put them in my Amazon store, my favorite items in there, so you can look there if you need something like that. And that just about covers that. I did want to point out too, in case any of you haven't seen me do this, I use a sponge in a dish of water a lot of times when I'm doing real gluey stuff or real painty stuff, and it's the quickest way to clean your fingers while the paint or the glue is wet on your hands. You just rub the sponge for a minute, and I keep a dry towel on my lap. And so I do this, and then I dry my hands, on my little towel, and then keep going. So it saves on baby wipes if you go through a lot of those, for sure. And then I just take the sponge to the sink and rinse it out, rinse the dish, and then I'm ready for the next time. So that's about it for this particular project. I think we're going to call it done and call it good. And we will see you again soon for the next video. And in the meantime, happy Scrapplications, everybody. Bye-bye.